Of Mr. Allard's Neighborhood. This is the place where you're entitled to Brad's opinion. And now for your host, Brad Allard.
Well, here we are again, the last show before Christmas. I have Jennifer Woods here from Harvest House. We're going to talk about year-end giving. We're going to talk about some good news she told me about right before the show. We're going to talk about what the plans are for next year and just stuff like that. You know, Taylor, how are you doing today?
I am well.
Are you
I
better?
didn't realize this was the last one before Christmas.
Yes, the last one.
Wow. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I'm not a Christmas person. You know, a lot of people are. It's like you bust your hump doing all this stuff, and then Christmas Day, it's all over by 10 o'clock in the morning. What are you going to do? Talk to your family, please? You know,
Yeah.
So we had one tradition we did have is I put on Elvis's Christmas album. Because why not? So I'll probably have to do that again. But there you go.
All right.
Anyway, Taylor, you got big Christmas plans?
Hanging out at my parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
Got all the family coming over, both sides.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
Yeah. Different times.
Yeah.
But same day. It'll be fun.
Well, we're going to see my parents in Corsicana. Thankfully, they're still with us and all that. What about you? What's your plans?
Well, we're going to go to my sister-in-law and brother-in-law's on Christmas Eve, and then we're going to hang out with my family,
Yeah,
kids and my husband, and all that on Christmas Day. So we'll have to talk to each other. I bought a new game, so we'll see if I can get him to play.
Ooh, what game?
Outsmarted.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Well, I'm excited about it because I haven't played it yet, so I don't know if it's any good. But
I'm sure it'll be fantastic.
There's an app, and you can play with people in different places. So it's a little board game, a little video game, a little technology, and then you can play with different age groups because it's trivia, but it adjusts to the age of the people you're trying. So it levels the playing field so you can play with all ages. So we'll see.
We'll see. Well,
Interesting.
Well, let's
My
talk.
family's kind of trivia.
Okay. Well, next week we're of course taking Christmas off, and then we'll have a show. We're gonna have a show on Thursday. Cody O'Brien's mom and sister have a business, a mobile bar, the Mixie Chicks.
Did we ever get confirmation on the bringing samples?
I need to get a hold of them. Yeah.
I can come that day.
Yeah, that's yeah. We have a couch for you to lay down afterwards. So there you go. And then on Friday, you're going to have Camille come by, and we're going to just talk about what the year was like, and I'll go over my predictions, which I was spectacularly wrong, and so many of them. You know, I like these. Well, only one that I got right was Georgia winning the national championship in college football. But as far as picking the Rangers to win the World Series, I wish I had said that, but I'm not even close. Anyway,
Will the Cowboys make the Super Bowl?
Oh, please, that's an easy one. The only way the Cowboys are going to see a Super Bowl is if they're selling Coca-Cola in the stands. But anyway, let's talk about the sponsors. All right, CrossFit Burleson, 317 Southwest Wilshire. You know, they're open during the holidays. They're going to, be available to you to keep in shape. And so you don't want to let it all go. Also, if you don't know what to do as far as the type of workout, they got people there to help you with that. They got trainers and supervision, so you're not going to flounder around wondering what to do. It's an organized workout. So give them a call over at CrossFitBurleson.com and see what the deal is. Also, Shandy. It's a little slow right now in the real estate business during the holidays. A lot of people are too busy to buy a house, but it picks right back up in January. And so Stock's Deal Group can help you with that. She can help you find the right house at the right price. And so if you want to move in this area, it's a good place. Oh, there's our friend Alex Phillips. He says, good morning.
Good morning.
He's
Alex.
still hard at the job. That's what we pay our taxes for, is that kind of dedication. Thank you, Alex. Going to have him on in about 2 or 3 months, give the update. And he said he's going to tell me all the inner secrets of BISD. Not BISD. What the heck am I talking about? I don't know. I'm tired. We were babysitting a dog, and the dog, isn't it doesn't keep the same schedule as I do.
Goodness.
All right, it's my son's dog, and while they go on a cruise, we're taking care of it. I'm like,
He sounds really happy. No wonder he's not ready for Christmas. Ah, humbug.
oh,
If I was to say bomb.
yeah, bah humbug. Anyway, back next to our place, a happy place. I was there this
I think you
morning.
need to go to our place.
No, I was there this morning.
I was there yesterday morning.
Yeah, it's great breakfast, great crowd, great service. About every other Thursday. Speaking of which, Alex says going to have some announcements in January. To stay tuned. Oh, absolutely, we will. Our place is a really great place to go because the staff there knows us. We go there every other Thursday morning, and we're old men with pretty set ways. And she comes in, you'll have this, and this. Yeah, that's about right. You have the decaf, you have the regular, you have the Dr. Pepper, and that's the kind of thing you get in our place. I really like. And plus, Otto is really, really good in the community, taking care of those type of things. Also, speaking of good in the community, Wild Cigar, they're going to have a lot of plans. They're going to have New Year's Eve plans, as always. They're going to have the bowl games on. They're going to have all the, the playoff football games on. And it's a good place to go watch a game because it's not blowing you out. You ain't got like 19 screens like you go to some places and get overwhelmed, right? And here you get got the game, you got a cigar, you got a drink, or you don't have to have a cigar, you have a drink. And it's a really good place. Also, it's a good place if you're looking for last-minute stocking stuffers. They got gift cards, so it's a good place to go for that. Tiffany over at Local Life, hope you have a good Christmas. She's going to, have fun at Christmas. She's a Christmas person. You can just tell, and she's going to, really do it up big with Jimmy and the girls. And so it's going to be lots of fun. But thank you for the magazine. Aren't you on the cover on this one?
Yes.
Yes.
Not just me. There were others, but yeah.
I saw it over at Gala's store, and there you were, big celebrity. I said, I know this person. And they go, wow, you really get around.
Yeah, I'm pretty widely known.
Yes, but it's nice. They do a great job on that, don't they?
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah. And also, speaking of doing a great job, Cody O'Brien, if you go to burlesonbuzz.com/Allard23, you'll get a discount on that. Cody is really doing a lot of good work. I'm really getting a lot of the information I want to ask, like I did with Victoria earlier this week. I got a lot of information from Cody's articles. He really does a good job of keeping us informed. And with the absence of a daily newspaper in this town, he's as close as it can be for that. And he does a really good job.
Oddly, I woke up and thinking about this and thinking, I'm not even lying.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I really need to sign up for that. So it's funny that you.
Well, you get a discount if you tell them if you do that and tell them you heard it here. It's already pretty affordable. I mean, it's very inexpensive. Yeah. So there you go.
Nice.
Let's see. Taylor, you sent me the link yet, so I can do that voodoo I do. I don't see it yet.
1 second.
All right. Anyway, let's talk to Jennifer here while he does what he does. Tell us this good news you were telling me right before the show.
Yeah, so we just purchased our box truck that we've been raising money for since August.
Yeah.
I don't know, it seems like forever.
Yeah.
But that's very exciting. So we don't have it on our lot yet. We'll have it at the first of the year. But we did purchase it. It's getting prepped so that we can actually haul things safely in the back of it. Mm-hmm. Really excited about it. It was definitely kind of a God thing, and it's
Absolutely.
a nice truck. So, next thing we're going to be doing for anybody who's interested is sponsorships to wrap it. So that's going to be coming up. People are interested in buying. I don't have my prices yet on it, but we're going to be selling sponsorships for people to have their logo on it because that truck gets around town. So
yes. So you have people that businesses or whomever can, have it as a mobile advertisement or something like that.
Yep. And so once we're ready for that, right now we have our last one was Texas Health Burleson Wellness Center down by QT, and that's been really good. That was awesome. Our other truck is running right now, so until it has a major issue again, we're gonna have that truck, but.
Yeah.
It broke down so much last year. We're just like, that's the last of it. Now, if it breaks down again, we'll just have the one truck again. But hopefully, we'll have two trucks for a little bit. But we're not putting more money into the other one. So,
well, the good thing about having an advertisement, you want to be associated with your group. That's a real thing. I mean, when you give to the community, I don't have any problem with people knowing that you're giving to the community because
absolutely,
it's an example for other people as well, and to get involved and whatnot. You know, so are you going to plaster it over like a NASCAR stock car? You
Yeah,
know?
that's how it is right now. Our truck right now was wrapped that way. So
Yeah, you had like 18 different businesses on it and that kind of thing.
well, we're going to come up with all that strategy. But you know, if somebody's interested, they can reach out to me. There'll have to be some limit. You know, we are a faith-based organization, so it has to align with our mission. That will be one thing that is a necessity.
So Twin Peaks is out, huh?
Pretty much.
Oh, okay, okay. but other than that, good to go.
Yeah. So just things like that. So we'll have to, you know, figure that out. But that's going to be coming up. We're really excited about having a reliable truck. So.
Well, yeah, because I remember you and I talking about this when you needed a truck. You know, you're having to rent one, and that was a expense.
It's very expensive. Plus, you're fixing one, so it's like double the expense. And yeah. So, and it was out for like 8 weeks because of parts and,
of course.
and what the repair was and just all the things. And over the last, I mean, it was given to us. So, you know, the repairs, but we just want to be good stewards moving forward. And that's really ultimately what it's about. So.
You know what drives me crazy about getting repairs on my car or air conditioner or whatever you want to say? It seems like every time the guy goes, wow, I've never seen this before. You know, that kind of thing is like, oh, okay, you know, I've been doing this 20 years. I've never seen a car do this before. Or, you know, an air conditioner shouldn't be doing this. I don't know why.
I haven't run into that before.
Oh, it's a
It's
computer.
just you, man.
Oh, yeah, it must be. A computer goes out. It's like, that's the first time I've ever heard that happening. And that kind of like,
funny.
I feel like, okay, I'm getting scammed here. But that's, you know, maybe I'm just a bit paranoid. But, you know, just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get me.
Right?
Right.
They are.
Anyway, so having that truck is going to make life a lot easier for you.
Yeah, it should be really good. We're excited about it.
Now, as far as Christmas goes, are y'all getting a lot of business people coming in for Christmas shopping at the store?
Yes, store's been doing really good. So it's a great place for last minute items. We have a lot of brand new items too that a lot of people don't know because we do get donations from places like Cato, Sprouts. So frequently we've had like
Sprouts, like the grocery store? Okay.
but and that's growing. TJ Maxx is now, and so we get their, I can't remember the word, but the stuff that they're going to send back to the warehouse.
Right.
It has a really fancy word that I can't say because I can't remember it.
But it's not used, right?
No, it's not used at all.
Okay.
And so that's been exciting. So we have a lot of new items. We have a lot of our donated items. So it's a great end of, you know, Christmas shopping. We'll be open through Saturday, and then our hours are varying over the next couple weeks. For the resale store, it's open primarily every day except the holidays. I know we're closed the 25th and 26th, and then we'll open the 27th, 28th, and then I don't remember how it goes for the resale store after New Year's. It's probably we're probably closed the 1st and 2nd.
My guess is, I'm not sure, but my guess is you're going to get a lot of donations next week because of the year end.
Yes, we will have. We're technically closed, but we do have to hire people because people bring them anyway. So while we're officially closed, we will have somebody there.
You mean like on the day after Christmas? Or the 29th?
You know what?
Yeah.
I have a general manager for that.
Yeah, that's right. Java John?
For right now, he's kind of moving on soon.
Oh, yeah. Well,
but
he's get that coffee business off the ground.
that's right. He's got all kinds of other stuff going on. But we do have a new general manager coming in soon. But John is going to stick around with us for a little while in some other capacities because he still loves us.
Well, sure.
And our pantry closes Friday. So tomorrow we close at noon for food distribution, and we reopen on January 9th. So we will be closed. So if people need food, their holiday food, you know, come and get it today and tomorrow. We're open until 2 today, 9 to 2, and then tomorrow 9 to noon. We have it advertised everywhere. This is kind of our standard. Many of the pantries do. It's kind of the time for us to just take a breath because generally it's not a real busy time. If it's an absolute emergency, a person can go to the resale store and somebody can find a way to assist them.
It's, you know, it's interesting though. I guess I have this idea in my head that everybody's trying to get in their last minute tax deductions and things of that nature.
Oh,
And-
our accounting department's open.
yeah, all right. And,
She's on vacation right now in
yeah.
Scotland, and when she comes back,
oh, Scotland, really?
yeah,
I'm jealous.
I'm so jealous.
I went there in the 80s a couple of times and I loved it.
I went to Ireland in the 80s, and I loved it too.
Yeah.
Similar, but
Well-
yeah. So she'll be back, and so we'll be able to accept donations that way, financial donations to get that taken care of.
Right up to the very last minute, huh?
Right to the very last minute.
And then I know you'll send them some mail for them to put in their files in case the IRS
yeah.
wants to shake you down or whatever. I have
I hope the IRS doesn't want to shake us down.
no. Are you kidding me? It's
But
the mob.
and yes, we do our donation receipts in January for everybody, so they'll get that by the 31st, like everybody else.
And also those donations in kind, like I dropped a couch off in July. I should have kept the paper, but I'm going to. That couch, I don't know how much you bought it for, but that couch was worth at least $10,000. I'm saying.
Oh, I'm sure.
No, I'm not
Yeah,
going to do
you'll
that.
have to shake that one down with the IRS yourself. Is what I was gonna say.
Yeah, no, I don't. I purposely underestimate the value of in-kind donations because I don't want to raise any red flags.
Yeah.
If you give.
But we do give you your receipt if you want one. We don't keep track of that. So if a person didn't keep that, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, it's all
We
right.
just can't do that. We just do financial donations. That's a different story.
Yes, but as far as the donations, how have they been in this? I mean, the economy is still struggling. I don't care what you read in the paper. How about y'all sound?
It looks like we're doing really well. I just looked at our online donations yesterday, and I was like, wow, we're getting close to our budget. I wasn't able to get in and look at our cash, checks and all that. But I am thinking we're going to beat our goal, which was 50,000. But next year, kind of like we're talking about, there's a lot going on, and there's a lot we've got to do. So as this, Harvest House, the last few years has been just growing, figuring out our location, construction. I mean, this is what it's been. COVID and all these other things.
Our friend Matt Cobb is joining us here. He says Harvest House is such a great Burleson institution. You know Matt?
I don't know.
Well, Kyle Plumbing's been here for like 52 years. He was on the show
you
last
should
month.
come by and introduce yourself. I'd love it.
Yeah, you should.
And show you around.
Well, Matt's a good man.
That's awesome.
And it's good family. So
yeah. But next year, I mean, we've got, beating our budget will be really good because we've got strong goals for 2024. We're doing our Hope and Encouragement Drive right now. And what that's all about is helping to institute our long-term stabilization program. We've done some kind of pilot families that we've been working with, and we've had great success. I actually had a lady who, if you go to, I don't know if it's still on our website, but our story of James and Valerie from a couple of years ago, they came in right before COVID, and we helped them all the way through COVID. They were living in their truck. If you've seen the picture of their truck, it was just broken down. She had all kinds of health issues. She has a story that is actually unbelievable, except for that we've worked with the police and we know 100% it's verified. Having people trying to kill her, literally, really hard stuff, cancer, heart conditions, all kinds of just horrible things have happened in their lives. And the final thing was they had identity theft when they came to us. And so we partnered with the police department and Stephanie Beard over there, who's amazing in their victims assistance. We partnered and did a lot together. And over a 2-year period, I mean, it took a long time. They got their identities back. They actually just recently moved to Louisiana and have been there for 2 years. And she just popped in yesterday. I didn't even recognize her. I have a picture that I'm going to be posting on Facebook, pre and post. Like, she looks amazing. And they have just stabilized. They're working. Her health is so much better. And it is just like, wow. I mean, to look at, if you had met them when they came in, I could cry because they were stinky. People would think, they're not right. You know what I'm saying? They have gone through so much over the last 5-10 years. And they found us, and over a period of time now, to have her come in, and they're moving back to the area. It's like, wow, and then we had another gentleman that came in and he had just gotten out of prison and really didn't know how to function in our culture with everything on the cloud and internet. Like, he didn't understand what spam mail was. And it's understandable, because the world has changed so much. And again, he's working. He was able to just stabilize and be in a good spot. He's got a job. And those are just things that we want to do more, because we know that homelessness is growing. We've been talking to the city. Victoria was sick, but in the first of the year, we're going to sit down and talk. I've been talking to Tony. I cannot remember Tony's last name over at the city. He's new. But anyway, we're just sitting down, and I'm hoping to sit down with them. But we've been communicating at least, but just talking about what's happening and how do we help prevent homelessness, because it is much less expensive and more dignified to prevent homelessness. Let's just talk about it. I mean, I always talk about the money, but let's talk about the dignity. I heard a quote the other day.
This the gentleman you're talking about?
Yes.
Alex puts it
Yes. I wish you could tell me how to pronounce it, but when he calls me, I know who he is.
McClewayne? It sounds like some sort of Welsh name.
Very nice guy.
Yeah,
but
okay.
I met him in person once. I just remember his first name. But, we are just looking at how do we work as a community. We had a training on Bridges Out of Poverty recently, and last Friday. A lot of people were invited. A lot of people sat in on that. But it's just about how do we help create a community collaboration. Crazy 8 does something different than we can do. And I love what they do. I wish we could do that. That's not our mission. But it's similar in we have our missions of how do we help people get out of poverty, and
McIlwain is how it is. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
So
Alex
good, Alex. Appreciate you.
Right.
But whenever he calls me, I know who it is. It's like, oh, I don't. Anyway, so it's just, that's our focus next year is hope and encouragement. We want to bring hope and encouragement to our community. We want to do it, continue with our collaborations. We want to even expand those to really help people get back on their feet and stay on their feet. Our goal is that when we touch base with them a year after we've helped them, that they're still stable,
Right. I was talking to Victoria on the show on Monday. She was, a game trooper there because she's got COVID still. And
she and I were supposed to meet. I'm like, how about we meet the first of the year? I'm like, it's not necessary.
Poor girl, too. Because right during Christmas with little kids and all that.
But she'll be better by then.
I wanted to ask her about this, but, other issues, I guess, about Old Town and also about, are we building a library and that kind of stuff. That seemed to be a bit more pressing on the minds of a lot of the people in the community. So we're going to talk about it again, though, because I know Victoria really is taking this under her, I don't know, something that she thinks is very, very important. Under her wing, I guess is the best way to put it. And she really wants to make this happen. And I mentioned that, not just y'all, but maybe the city, maybe we're going to have a more coordinated effort to deal with the homeless issue. And their response was, first of all, they're very proud of our community for doing that, but they were also concerned, will we become a homeless magnet?
No, those are all things that have to be talked about. And so, again, I just go back to how do we, for Harvest House, our focus is not rehousing people. That's what, that's really not our mission. That's Crazy Eight's mission. Our mission is how do we prevent homelessness? How do we do that by helping pay a mortgage maybe for a couple months to get people caught up, help them have time to get a job, help them have time to learn some skills through education. So we're looking for more and more things, because the reality is that if you are lacking life skills that you don't even know you're lacking, it could be something like teaching somebody how to do crafts, because you know what? It's good for your mental health. Teaching them how to cook so that it's good for your physical health, helping them to get connected with the faith community because it's good for your spiritual health. Because you can't just say, man, here, make a budget, go do it. Because there's so much happening that we have to get to the root of why people are there and help them And it's not a one-day thing. If you've ever been in counseling, it is not a,
No, it's
you have
not.
your one session, you're fixed. It's
Wouldn't
going
it
to
be
take
nice if that were the
it would be
case?
nice. But it takes time. And I'm not the expert in all these things, and nobody at my facility is. And that's why we have to collaborate. That's why we need other people coming in and doing financial aid classes, cooking classes. Right now we have ESL classes happening. We do have a financial aid class that is open, and both of them are open to anybody in the community. You don't have to be a client, so the more people know about it, and we're going to do a better job marketing that in 2024 as well. But, we want to have more like that coming in. This program we're talking with, Bridges Out of Poverty, the thing I love about it, and there'll be more, you'll hear more about it in the future, but they get down to, why do you make the decisions you make? I mean, that's the root. Like, what did I learn that causes me to continue to make these decisions that continue to keep me on the hamster wheel? Because I've been saying for a couple of years, I want people to get out of the hamster wheels. And it's by reaching out to other people and gaining education that we can learn how to do that, because we all have our own hamster wheels, and I don't know how to always get off some of mine. So how do we help just all of us to learn how to do that? So if anybody was actually at the Bridges Out of Poverty training, we had about 40 people there. Only about half of them were Harvest House staff. I know.
Now, this is Ruby Payne's program, right? And
but
we did that at BSD maybe 15 years ago.
it's so much better. Like, they have taken it, because that's about when I went to it before. They have taken it, and they have a curriculum specifically for police and fire, specifically for teachers, specifically for the community at large. And those are things that we want to integrate. And they actually now have a program, and I can never remember it's like Getting Rich in I don't remember what their program's called, but it's basically teaching people up, if you will, like helping them to identify the basics of what's going on and growing off of that, because they do this up in Muskogee, Oklahoma. And so we're talking about going up there and meeting with them and seeing how it's successful and what they're doing, because these people will go through this 20-week program multiple times because it's so good, and it just helps them to stabilize. It helps them to better their lives. And so that's basically what our long-term stabilization program's goals are. But I'm not about reinventing the wheels. If there's something that we could potentially do, this all has to go to my board. I haven't even had an opportunity to really bring this to my board, but I really see this as something that's going to help, hopefully, benefit Burleson. I mean, hopefully it works out. I got to find out. I mean, are there costs and all those things come into play? But nevertheless, the concepts are true, and we can always implement them. And we can only do that as a community. The more people in our community learn and know and understand, that's how we make real change, But in the meantime, we're providing food and clothing and financial assistance. And the more that people give to that, the more we're able to do our program better.
It's interesting. I like to clarify something I said earlier. When people are concerned about being a magnet for the homeless, they weren't complaining. Because
totally understand.
They were basically, their attitude, I'm talking about a couple people in my church and all, their attitude was, too much is given, much is expected. And so they that's their attitude, is if this causes us to have to help more, then that's because we're in a place to help more, and that's where I'm sorry. Yeah. That's where God has put us. And God is going to work through us in our community, even through our non-faith-based institutions.
Absolutely.
And so I don't know many people really they don't resent the homeless. A lot of people don't understand it. I think that's one thing I get, is they don't understand, how does this happen to people? Did they get to this condition, this situation?
This is really funny, because I actually was in my Legal Shield training, because I'm doing Legal Shield on the side just as because I'm a whole nother thing I'm passionate about. But maybe you can have me come on and just talk about Legal Shield. That would be fun.
We will.
It's important.
We'll set up a date next for January.
That'd be great. But anyway, so in this training, I was just talking about, because one of these guys who is a leader in this, and he was basically saying, I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, And he is involved with this church, and his pastor and him gave up everything for a week and went and lived with the homeless wherever. I think it was California. That's kind of irrelevant. But at the end of the week, this guy asked, Brian Cawthorn, something like that.
I don't know.
Is his name. Well, I want to give him credit, but I can find it. I think it's Cawthorn. But he actually said, the pastor said, well, first they lose their job, and then they lose their house, and then they lose their things, and then they lose their family, and then they lose their dignity, and then they lose their mind. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, some people get so far that it's hard to bring them back. But you can just watch that. It's like, man, I lose my house, and then I'm living in a car, and my family abandons me because they're like, what are you doing? Kind of that Job thing. And maybe they do start making poor decisions because they don't know how to cope with the stress. So the alcohol or drugs or whatever, because they don't know how to cope, because we have no coping mechanisms. And they get to that point where they're eating out of the trash cans for survival. And I think as you do that for so long, something chemically switches, and they talk about then you lose your mind, and it's hard to come back from that. And not saying that it can't be, but it was just a really profound way of like, I can see that, and how we see more. I mean, I was listening to somebody you weren't interviewing somebody on the Presbyterian Night Shelter, were you? Toby?
The night shelter?
Toby from the Presbyterian Night Shelter?
No, it wasn't me.
Oh, it was 88.3 The Journey. Okay, sorry. I'm like, I just heard this on the radio.
Well, I know, I know what you're talking about, but no, I'd like to have him on my show.
Yeah.
But,
so I heard him talking, and Danae was just asking him, what are you seeing right now? And it was just that people are losing their homes. Mm-hmm. And that is our next crisis. And he was just, the crisis we have is affordable housing.
Yes, absolutely.
And across the country. And
absolutely.
So and it's exactly what we're talking about. Like, if we can find ways to keep people housed, to prevent homelessness, because then they keep their jobs. I mean, if you can't really, it's hard to have a job if you don't have a house, you don't have a place to take a shower. There's so many factors. And I've just heard all these things recently, and it's just like, because this is an issue, and it's like, it's not going to be an easy solution, but the United Way of Dallas is doing a program too. And you've heard housing first, because you can't help somebody until they have Maslow's hierarchy. They've got to have food, shelter, housing, and those things start off all of this. So I understand what the city's concerned about, and that's why I think they're opening up conversations. I'm opening up conversations, and I think we're going to see some more conversations in 2024. I'm excited that the city is asking questions, and that we're asking questions. None of us know the solution. I don't. I don't even think the Tarrant County Homeless Coalition really knows how do you fix it totally, because it's got to be, in my opinion, community by community, because each community is so different, and we just have to deal with it differently. Because in Burleson, lots of people living in their cars, not as many living on the streets, but you'd be surprised at how many are living on the streets in our parks and tents. And, we know them, we see them.
Well, I'm going to run through the next round of commercials. There's one at the end, or a public service announcement that you're going to be very excited about.
Okay.
Because you already mentioned Stephanie Beard.
Oh, I love Stephanie Beard.
Okay. So, anyway.
If you haven't met her, you need to. She's
they were on the show. Stephanie and Colin both were on the show about a week ago Monday.
I know what you're talking about then. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, as far as Christmas goes, we got Southern Jim, of course, and they got the place all decorated for Christmas, and it's all good. And Robin tells me that they're pretty busy. They're going to be open till 6 tonight, 6 tomorrow night. Going to be open till 5 on Saturday to help you guys out that are waiting to the last minute. And they do get people come running in at the last minute. This happened last Christmas, where people came in like the afternoon before Christmas Eve and, do you have anything and whatnot and blah, 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 and that kind of thing. And they got it. And so go by Southern Gym today, tomorrow, or Saturday and make that person in your life's Christmas extra special. Also, thank you to Old Pro Roofing, John Williams, 817-734-2756. Saw him yesterday. He's pretty busy, which is a good thing. The best time to get your roof inspected is now, because you don't want to wait till afterwards, after a heavy storm. And supposedly we're going to get one Saturday night, but I am a weather agnostic. I don't really believe in weather. So, So there you go. 817-734-2756. Also, I mentioned our friends, it was before the show, I guess, Camco with Camco Mortgage, Sammy and Candy. They do a great job. They've done 2 refinancing for me over the years. I'm one of the few people that's still living in their first house. I moved in there in 91, still there. I'm too lazy to move. But Sammy Campbell, 817-778-4592. Candy Gow at 817-925-2661. And the rates are kind of drifting back downward. So maybe if you're looking to buy or refinance, they're the people to talk to. Now, this is what I was talking about just a minute ago. And this is at Colin Gregory and Stephanie Beard on, I want to say a week ago Monday, it was with the chamber. So maybe it's about 2 weeks ago. Melissa Miller was here with them as well. And you probably have seen these all over the place, particularly in the women's restrooms. And I thought, wow, that's very clever, actually, because that's where probably if you're in an abusive situation, a stalker situation, that may be the only place you can go for any privacy at all. And so you hit that QR code and you can, fill out the form and get a hold of victims' assistance. If you're in an abusive situation, sexual assault, whatever. Will the police get involved? Depends on what you're reporting. Yeah, the police may need to be involved. And that kind of, ability to get the word out, because a lot of people just live with this in silence. I know you got to see it at Harvest House. And then you have also you can connect with Harvest House or with other like communities here in Burleson. If you don't know where to go to, had Megan on with Next Step, and if let's say that you're in a situation, you're pregnant and know where to go, and you don't really know about Next Step yet, this app and whatnot will connect you to it. And so it's a really great program. Colin and Steffi will be on again around the 18th of the next month. And now these posters cost $7 a piece to help defray the cost. It's actually below cost. The printer that did this did it as a community service. And I know that several restaurants in the area have bought some of these. I think Walmart has. I wouldn't doubt HEB has, but I'm not going to go find out, unless I want to get arrested.
Well, and the thing about them, they're stickers. Mm-hmm. So they stick to the wall. So they stay. I mean, you don't have to do that. But yeah, we have them at Harvest House as well in our client advising rooms.
Well, I wouldn't doubt it. I know Megan's going to have them up at the Next Step.
Yep.
And so, it's going to be a very common thing to see. And I really like that fact. I also think it wouldn't be a bad idea to put in a men's restroom, maybe, because men aren't sometimes they're the victims of abuse. You don't really, we macho guys don't like to think about it, but it does happen. Plus, in another way, it's like, if you're inclined to be this kind of creepy guy, just be aware that we have means of reporting you.
Yeah, I think people don't realize, and not just young men, not just kids that are boys that are abused, but there's a lot of adult men too. I mean, people laughed off. I'm not getting into the Johnny Depp thing, but there's just a reality that there's, emotional abuse is abuse.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of manipulation and stuff that can happen, and it can happen to men, and it's harder, I think, for men to probably say, but like, it can really mess up your life. I mean, I have a friend right now who's kind of struggling with some stuff like that related to all of this, and it's sad.
We think of abuse as a physical thing, but no, it could be an emotional, verbal thing as well, and men go through that too.
Yep.
And so I don't know if, but men, they don't ask for directions when they're lost in the car.
Right.
So it's hard for them to ask help. I've talked to other people that do counseling services, and one of the hardest things, particularly my generation, is to admit that you need help because of any kind, counseling, but anything is seen as, if I have to ask for help for emotional or, psychological issues, I'm admitting weakness, and that's not a really healthy attitude to take.
No.
And same thing probably with the people that eat groceries. I mean, you get more women than men, or is it pretty evenly spread out?
We definitely get more women than men. And even, if it's a couple, a lot of times it's just the woman that comes in, the man that stays in the car or doesn't come in at all. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I get it.
Well, yes, I understand it, but I think particularly if there's young ones involved, you're going to have to swallow your pride sometimes, and
I
not
think
let
that's
that
why
get the
they end
factor.
up showing up there. So whether it's whoever comes in.
Well, I guess when I envision what you're doing, I could see the woman in the family being a bit more willing to reach for help, because men just don't do that. You know, it's the way we're raised and whatnot, and that's not always a good thing. You know,
Right.
And so, but I really am glad we have this program out. Colin and Stephanie do a great job, and the city. I'm glad the city's being proactive about these kind of things.
Right. It's just like Alex said, it's true. It takes all of us, every
Yeah.
single person, to be a part of it.
You know, and since I've been doing the show, I've been able to see a lot of behind the scenes collaborations between the nonprofits in the city and the nonprofits in the schools.
Yep.
And I don't know if every community is blessed like that. I'm sure they have people here in Crowley or here in Alvarado, whatever, that do the same thing. I'm just not privy to all the background, but it's been a real blessing the last few
I
years.
really think a lot of it is very specific to Burleson. Like they may have one or two things. I think there's something extra special about Burleson. I'm sure there's other communities like it around there, but I just don't think it's as common. You know, I listen to my friends in other communities and other states, and I watch their struggles, and, you know, as small business owners, as parents with their kids in, you know, their school districts, with how bullying, you know, people think, oh, it's not addressed here. And I'm like, I can tell you some stories of my friends in other districts where it's really not addressed.
Well, yes.
And it's so sad.
Right, and I do, you know, obviously being human beings, not everybody is going to be able to do the right thing at the right time and do the smart thing at the smart time, but I think we have a lot of people whose heart is really towards not just this community in the whole, but specifically certain groups like y'all's.
Yep.
And, you know, the fact that you're going to probably make your financial goals, even in this, as we scuffle along financially, I mean, people are giving sacrificially.
Right.
And, you know, that's a good thing, to say the least.
Yeah.
You know, I was talking to Debbie about Over Promises, and they put out a kind of all points bulletin a couple of months ago. We need some stuff. You know, we need some grub, food. And, you know, and if you want to donate, you always use that. And I think they hit their targets.
Nice.
And so, you know, people are reaching into their pocket, even if they're right now, that pocket's a little light. I don't know a lot of communities that do that.
Right.
So I'm really, it's a good thing. Now, a couple of items of business. You said you're changing your platform for giving. Is it not? Does that that's it for won't affect me at all or anybody else?
That's not a big deal.
So they see something different. They shouldn't really get worked up about it.
No, it'll just be coming from, and then we're going to send out letters letting people know
Okay.
that we're switching from Network for Good to Boomerang.
You also had a save the date poster. I think Taylor has that. Yeah, there it is.
Yes, we're going to have our 2024 Vineyard Vibes on April 14th at Lost Oak Winery. We are so excited about that. It's our, you know, they didn't put how many years. I think it's our 4th year. No, we started, it'll be our 4th year. Because we started during COVID, because it was outdoors, and we had been wanting to do this for a long time. But, you know, really, this is just an opportunity for our community to come together. It is a fundraiser, but at the same time, it's not a big, you know, hey, come and give us all your money.
Yeah,
It's just
not
a
a
fun.
shakedown.
It is a fun day to just come and introduce people to Harvest House. We'll do a little bit more talking about who Harvest House is. Like, we're really focusing on this being kind of that friend maker, you know, helping people learn who we are that may be coming from out of the area, because it'll just be fun.
Lost Oak is becoming a real meeting place for these kind of things.
And it's, so, you know, last year we had to go inside because of the rain. We're really hoping for nice weather again this year and be outside. But it's nice that we can move it inside if we have to.
Right.
We're doing some things different with vendors. I'm going to be talking to Alex about that. I had mentioned it to him before, because we just really want to do helping support some of the small businesses in our community that maybe need a little more exposure, as opposed to just every vendor. Again, it's kind of about that collaboration. How do we really support those who really, you know, need an extra oomph, that are getting their businesses going?
Well, I could think of several. I tell you who ought to talk to about that in particular is Mary Slaney. She's a big supporter of small business.
Everybody.
I
love Mary.
Yeah, well, Mary Slaney often posts things about this particular boutique or this particular small restaurant, whatever. And that's who I'd talk to, because she'll hook you up with.
Sorry, Alex, you've been overwrought.
Alex knows who runs
I'm
this
just
town.
going to talk to Mary.
Alex may thinks he's runs this town, but we know it's Mary Slaney. So, but still, there would be a good connection. Alex, of course, knows everybody and their dog too. But I'm just saying, you're going to get a lot of response, because a lot of small businesses really. They run a pretty tight operation and need all the help they can get.
Yep.
And I got a couple people I can point you to as well.
Yeah, but it will be an invitation only thing, because we'll, just making sure we, have the right setup. So we're excited about it. Food trucks, things like that. So we're definitely interested in requests or people who are interested or think that you should be there. So
well, this process of planning it, starts in January, doesn't it?
Well, it's already kind of started.
Yeah, right.
So
I mean, this isn't something you're going to put together in late March. I mean,
no. When we come back, we wanted to wait till our platform got completely started, because that way we don't have to. We wanted to start it in November, but due to changing platforms, that's how the whole thing came up. We want to wait till everything's ready to be uploaded into it. We just don't.
Well, yeah.
It'll be like the second week of January. We'll be okay. But
okay. Well,
we don't wait too much time. We are looking for sponsors. We do have that. That's what I was trying to find earlier, was the sponsorship form. So if people are interested in being a sponsor for that event, we are going to be advertising even outside of Burleson this year with Lamar digital advertising. So we're going
how about that?
Doing some of that. So we really want to get a lot more people there this year, selling more tickets, bringing people to Burleson.
Well, that I'm sure they'll be appreciated. I'm thinking of a couple of businesses. After the show, I'll drop their names on you. But when you come back in January, we'll set a date after the show as well. Yeah. You'll probably have more details about all this.
Yeah, we'll have the sponsorships and all that ready. But if somebody's ready right now, we can talk to you about how to make it happen now. And then this will be for our Vineyard Vibes event in April. Then next year we're going to be doing we're going to actually do something a little different for our summer food. We're actually going to do a summer food drive like we do our fall food drives. Then we get back to Little Red Schoolhouse, fall food drives, our holiday brunches. The cycle continues. Yeah, right. But we'll have opportunities for people in all the different areas.
Yeah, well, the Harvest House has always been pretty active, to say the least, and it's just gotten even more so, I think, honestly, since you took over its management. I mean, we've always had a pretty good Harvest House, but I think you've taken it to a whole nother level. So
it's all about having a great team, and I really mean that.
I know, but
I know. Well, I appreciate that. But
somebody's got to run the show.
No, I get it. I say it to Alex all the time, and he gives me that response too. But no, I mean, I understand that, and I appreciate it. But I just am so grateful for an amazing team to help just keep moving things forward.
I'm curious, though. I just off the top of my head, who is the chairman of y'all's board?
So right now it's Steve Stefkin. He actually rolls off because it'll be his 6th year, and he has to roll off, and then it will be Russ Weaver in 2024.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay, I'm not familiar with either gentleman, but I'm sure they're...
Russ Weaver, Steve Stefkin owned Party Warehouse here in Burleson.
Okay.
And then Russ Weaver is, I don't know his exact title because it's changed, like VP of Community Outreach at Hughley Hospital.
Okay. Well, there you go. Yeah. So you get some big shots there on there.
Yeah,
okay.
Big shots.
There you go.
No, Russ is fabulous. I mean, we have a good board. We've got Sarah Shin with Shin Tech Solutions, or IT. Her and her husband own an IT company. Carrie Bohan.
I know her.
Brandon Bayless with Gateway Hospice. Ryan Richardson.
Oh, yes, I know him well. Yes.
Philip Shelton with General Manager of Walmart.
Okay.
And I'm missing somebody, I think, but we just had a few people roll off. So it's kind of like, Jessica Martinez with the city of Burleson.
Okay. Well, I'm familiar with her too.
Yeah.
But you got some good people.
Yeah. We have one spot open. We had one person roll off. So we are looking for at least one member.
How does somebody become a member of that board? Do they just apply?
They can reach out to me or Jessica Martinez. She's our nomination committee chair. But reach out to us. There's an application. We do an interview process to make sure everybody's in line with our mission and our values and all that stuff. And that's the beginning process. So if people are interested, we do have one seat for sure. I think we're going to expand to having 9 members. So we have one spot still available. So that's where we're at.
How about that? Well, you heard it here first, guys. If you want to really get involved, there's opportunities. But right before Christmas, tell us what you need, not just for the next 7 days, but the next 35 days. And we'll wrap up the show with that.
Okay. So this week, today and tomorrow, I know food-wise, we need cereal and chickens today and tomorrow. Anything that isn't, but cereal, last night I think we had 5 boxes of cereal. So we don't want to start the year off that way. So, and then honestly, our end of year giving campaign is going, yourharvesthouse.org, just to give. What we're really looking for are monthly givers, whether it's $5 a month, $100 a month, $10,000 once, however it works, I got to ask for that.
Yeah.
However it works. But
Can't get unless you ask.
That $5 a month really helps us budget to know what we're getting, so making a pledge to do that. We just sent out our letters to many, many people on our mailing list. And that's what we need right now, so that when we come back in January, that we are ready to roll and that we've got the funds to do all the things we do, shop at the resale store. Those dollars come back into the programs and keep us going. So like, if you're like, man, I don't have money to give, well, go shopping, because those are donated items. So all that money comes back to help make sure that our programs are strong. And you also get potentially what you need. And so we try to keep those prices reasonable so that it benefits our community, it benefits Harvest House, and keeps us going.
Well,
and volunteering.
I mentioned, we're scuffling a little bit in the economy, but if you're having like a leaner Christmas than you like, that'll make your Christmas better than doing good things for other people.
Yeah.
It'll really make the Christmas better. Even if it's, I'm not going to be able to afford that very expensive item. Well, no, but you might can afford something smaller, and a small gift to Harvest House or any of our other nonprofit communities.
Yeah, and
make Christmas
I think
better.
sometimes people are like, $5 isn't much. That's, that's probably, actually, we bought one item that we got in bulk, and they were 33 cents each. So you do the math on how many meals that would have provided. But it's a lot.
Well, it's the widow's mites.
Yeah, it is. And so people think, it's not much, but we can frequently buy things in bulk. But we get our best prices if we can do that. But we, a lot of times it costs $6,000 at a time to get whatever we're purchasing in bulk. That's how you get 33 cents a piece, So, so if we don't have those bulk amounts of money,
any donation that's given with the true heart is blessed.
I agree. And I believe that the Lord multiplies it. And I believe that's why we are blessed, because everybody has that mindset. And I'm not going to say we don't ever make mistakes, but the mindset is that no one leaves hungry. No one should leave without, food or whatever. And that's just it's our goal. I mean, we will trust that God is going to provide what we need. With food, financial assistance, there are regulations, and not absolutely everybody gets that. They don't all qualify, because we have to. I mean, we have to be really good stewards and making sure those dollars are going to help and not make things worse or keep them in the same situation, all that kind of stuff. So,
well, you have a good Christmas. I know you're making Christmas better for a lot of people. And Taylor, you have a good Christmas, best you can.
You as well.
With all those families. I'll be fine. I'm glad my parents are still with us. Not a lot of men my age still have both their parents, and my
very
wife.
Lucky. Very lucky.
And my wife has both her parents.
Wow.
Yeah. No.
I'm 50 and I don't have any of mine. So that's kind of, you think, wow, it's amazing.
It's
going to be a very different Christmas this year. So I just want to go and chill and just enjoy Jesus and my family, my immediate family. That is really my goal, is just to.
Well, you've had a tough year. You know, and you've come through it pretty well, I think, very well.
Well, thank you.
Well, I guess keeping focused on the big picture.
I have a good face to.
Well, no, you've done well. I mean, a lot of you had, like I said, it's not been the best year you ever had, but you've come through very well.
Well, thanks.
Guys, okay, y'all have a good Christmas out there, vast listening audience. We'll be back next Thursday with the ladies from Mixie Chicks and tell us,
Can I show you my new sweatshirt?
Yeah. What is this now? The sweater? What do you got there? Okay. Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Watch the there you go.
There you go. Okay. Look at that. She's advertising the Harvest House. All right. And we'll see y'all next Thursday. Y'all take care of yourself this holiday.